An architectural shape that can take a lot of force, but it also looks very delicate. Yeah, there's different parts of the intervention that could possibly have a shift in perception or mindset or your focus of care, I guess. Hi, my name's Kelly Jacqueline Andres. I'm a visual artist. I live in Red Deer, Alberta. My work was called Planting a Promise. It included exchanging promises as text or imagery for young sunflower plants, all within a beautiful geodesic dome. Well, the geodesic dome is kind of a utopian, futuristic architecture. And I first encountered it when I was researching the work of Buckminster Fuller. It's a shape that's also in nature. It's repeated in nature in different patterns and in bubbles or beehives or different like nests that animals or insects build. An architectural shape that can take a lot of force, but it also looks very delicate. And so I love the way that within the sculpture, it was kind of a very organic architecture, but it can take a lot of pressure. So you could basically sit a car on it and it wouldn't topple. With the interior events of painting promises on cloth, there was a very delicate nature to the fabrics blowing in the wind, and so I really like that, setting up that juxtaposition. I can't exactly remember how it all developed. The first part of it was definitely the geodesic dome, and then doing some kind of exchange for plants, and plants being the symbol of care, tending, growth, change. And then I think just figuring out something that everyone could do, a very inclusive activity. So you could use like any language, you could use symbols or images to portray a thought, and to portray something that's positive could mean something totally different to everyone. Once I knew that it was going to be very interactive and there was going to be like thousands of people attending, I think that also helped shape what the form was for what the interaction would be. And then over, I don't know, like 5 or 6 different ideas and iterations, it finally stopped at having these small cloths that people could draw on. I'd like to do something to bring them together or make something else from them. I don't know, but I would like to first of all look at all of them and document them all, so I'll just scan them all. One of the things I thought of was sewing them together, basically into one large like parachute, and then maybe having like some kind of parachute event. One of the nice things was that your curatorial team, we had a number of discussions, this back and forth actually, that helped guide the project. I hadn't been to a Works Festival before, so I didn't really know the context, the site, those sorts of details, which really do define the design of something like this. I felt like it was extremely much more successful having that guidance and having that collaboration. I had such a great time in it. I was there for the first weekend. Yeah, it was just so nice and people were really positive, and I just couldn't believe all the different people that came in, all the different ages. Everyone could participate and wanted to, and so it was so rewarding. Well, I kind of want to explore what's beyond the human. So I find like we tend to be very anthropocentric, and I think that that's a problem. And so my work, at least for the past 10 years, has always involved some kind of interspecies, multi-species, working beside, in collaboration with, or just taking care of other creatures and learning about them and trying to slightly shift human perception to be a little more open and a little more aware. And so I think that's an important thing for where we're at right now, as far as like a lot of different issues and a lot of things that we've faced in the past that we need to overcome as a community of animals. I like that it was like very, much about your interpretation. And I think what the project was all about was just that awareness and opening thought, having that feeling of being together with others in that form of thought, and so in that positivity. I don't know, just like maybe carrying that plant around kind of changed people a little bit, like that for that moment even, just of taking care of it. I don't know if all of them planted it or what happened to some of them, but just that thought of like walking around urban space carrying a plant. That's something kind of different, I think. Sunflowers, well, I've always loved them for the Fibonacci kind of sequence that they display. So they have this very mathematical, almost hive-like center. And so I kind of see a parallel between that and the architecture of the geodesic dome. They're also like human size. And so they're quite a grand flower. Like they're sort of, you know, breathtaking. And also like the bright yellow and just like universally like symbolic of like happiness and food and like, I don't know, they just have this really great spirit, I think. Yeah, there's different parts of the intervention that could possibly have a shift in your perception or mindset or your focus of care, I guess, so.